Hi friends, I am Nursing. Welcome to RPS Creations YouTube channel. ఫ్రెండ్స్ లేటెస్ట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ముందుగానే మీరు పొందాలంటే మా ఛానల్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకొని పక్కన ఉన్న బెల్ ఐకాన్ క్లిక్ చేయండి. అండ్ అలానే వీడియో నచ్చితే లైక్ చేయండి, అందరికీ షేర్ చేయండి. మీకు ఎటువంటి వీడియోస్ కావాలో కామెంట్ సెక్షన్లో పోస్ట్ చేయండి. ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఈరోజు బిందు మేడం డిటెక్షన్ చేసిన స్పోకెన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ భాగంగా యాక్సిలరీ వర్బ్స్ గురించి అలానే మరికొన్ని విషయాలు మనం తెలుసుకుందాం. అయితే మీరు ముందుగానే క్లాస్ వినాలి అనుకుంటే మీరు స్క్రీన్పై కనిపిస్తున్న నెంబర్ కాల్ చేసి సిఎఫ్డబ్ల్యూ గ్రూప్ అంటే కంట్రీ ఫ్యూచర్ రెఫరెన్స్ గ్రూప్లో మీరు యాడ్ అవ్వాలి. కంట్రీ ఫ్యూచర్ రెఫరెన్స్ స్క్రీన్పై కనిపిస్తున్న 7330726238 నెంబర్కి కాల్ చేయండి. ఓకే ఫ్రెండ్స్, అలానే ఈ క్లాస్ అనేది జూమ్ కాల్లో జరుగుతుంది. జూమ్ యాప్ తెలుసు కదా మీకు, అందులో అయితే జరుగుతుంది. అయితే ఈ జూమ్ కాల్ ద్వారా మీరు అటెండ్ అవ్వాలనుకుంటే చెప్పాను కదా, ఓకేనా? అయితే మనం వీడియోలోకి వెళ్ళే ముందు ఎప్పటిలాగే మీరు ఇంటి దగ్గర ఉండండి, మీతో పాటు మీ ఫ్యామిలీని కూడా రక్షించుకోండి.
Now I'm going to teach the basic structures of English language. The topic for today is auxiliary verbs. AUXILIARY, auxiliary verbs. Basically, what is meant by parts of speech and what is meant by verb, what is meant by auxiliary verb. I'm going to give the introduction for all these topics, then begin the concept. First, what is meant by parts of speech? It helps us to understand any word which belongs to a sentence, to which parts of speech it belongs to. There are 8 parts of preposition, conjunction, interjection. All these are called as parts of speech. Noun is a naming word. Pronoun is nothing but a word which helps the noun. Now let us speak about the verb. Verb, V-E-R-B, verb is very, very important. Unless you understand what is meant by verb, you cannot understand what is meant by auxiliary verb. Verb is nothing but an action. Right from the morning till we go to bed, we do so many actions throughout the day. Either in the college, at home, talking to friends, anything, any action is known as verb. Verb denotes an action. I hope I'm clear. Verb, V-E-R-B, verb denotes an action. Verb shows an action. For example, now I'm talking. Talking is an action. Yes, I'm teaching. Teaching is an action. Walking is an action. Eating, yes. Gardening, we do several things. He's jumping on the road. That is an action. He's going somewhere, an action. Or any activity, any action is known as verb. V-E-R-B, verb. Now, let me explain what is meant by auxiliary verb. The spelling of auxiliary is A-U-X-I-L-I-A-R-Y, auxiliary verb. Auxiliary is nothing but helping verb. Verb is an action, main verb. Auxiliary verb is a helping verb. Now, in auxiliary verbs, it is divided into 2 types. This is very, very important that everyone need to understand. Verb is an action. Auxiliary verb is nothing but helping verb. It is divided into 2 types. What are they? Primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. M-O-D-A-L, modal. Primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. In primary auxiliary verbs, there are 3 types. Be forms, have forms, do forms. Let me repeat. These are very, very important because without auxiliary verbs, we cannot imagine English language. And most of the questions are asked from the auxiliary verbs. In the competitive exams, you will be asked questions based on auxiliary verbs. So verb is an action. Let me repeat. Verb is an action which denotes an action. Auxiliary verbs are nothing but helping verbs. They are divided into two types: primary auxiliary and modal, M-O-D-A-L, modal auxiliary. In primary auxiliary, we have be forms, have forms, do forms. Now let us move on to modal auxiliary, M-O-D-A-L, modal auxiliary verbs. What are they? Can, could, may, might, shall, should. You can remember like this: can, could, may, might, shall, should. These are some modal auxiliary verbs. Now let us look at will, would. Can, could, will, would, may, might, shall, should. These are modal auxiliary. Now I'm going to explain primary auxiliary verbs. Be forms, B-E-B, be forms. Have forms, do forms. What is meant by be forms? Am, is, are. Am, is, are, they come in be forms. For example, I am going to market to get some vegetables. I'm using am here. Going is the main verb. Am is an auxiliary verb, helping verb. Am, is, are, these three are be forms. They come in be forms. Now, he is talking to his friend. Talking is the main verb. Is the helping verb, auxiliary verb. It comes in be form. Now, am, is, are. I'm telling the last one, are. We are. We are in the classroom. We are going to college. Going is the main verb. Are is the auxiliary verb. So, be forms, it covers is, am, are. I hope it is clear. So, in the examination, what happens is, especially in the competitive exams, they give fill in the blanks. So, for example, I dash blank. In the bracket, they give B form, B form. Going to market now. This is the example. I dash, in the brackets, B form, B form. Going to market now. Now, the word now is a clue that the action is going on. So what we need to write, I am going to market now. Be form, it includes am, is, are. Like that, for example, he, H-E, he, dash, be form, in the brackets, be form. What he is doing? Talking to his friend now. He, dash, be form, in the brackets, talking to his friend now. I cannot write am. He am talking is a blunder in it. He am talking. No, he is talking. For am, it is only for I am. And he is, she is, it is. For he, we use is. For she, we use is. And it, we use is. These are in present tense. Now, for example, we dash, in the bracket, be form, be form, playing in the garden. We dash, in the brackets, be form, playing in the garden right now. The answer would be we are. We are. So I am, he is, we are. Like that, these be forms would be really helpful. Now let me take the confirmation for a while. Am I clear on one by one? Please tell whether I'm clear or do you have any doubts so that I can continue further.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello,
Clear.
who is this?
This is Mahesh.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear for me.
It's clear for you. Any doubts, any Confusion?
No, no. Till now, I don't have any doubts.
Okay. Next, some of them you can give your confirmation whether I'm clear or any problem. Should I slow down? Others, give me confirmation.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am. I was cleared, ma'am.
I was clear or I am clear?
I am clear, ma'am.
Just now I taught.
Yes, ma'am.
Have I taught or not B forms?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I am clear, ma'am.
Okay. Others? Is it fine? Should I continue? Someone has written, I'm cleared, ma'am. What is this cleared?
Ma'am, I am also clear, ma'am.
What is that?
I am also clear, ma'am.
Okay. Or better, you can say you are clear. Instead of telling I am clear, you can say you are clear. Easy to understand. Like that. You are. Now, let me explain the pronouns, how pronouns are used for verbs. I know this is just grammar topic, but it is very, very important when you are speaking English. In English, the most important topics are grammar. Grammar adds glamour to the language. This proverb, I really love using this proverb. Glamour adds. What happens here? What you need to understand? What is meant by glamour? Grammar adds glamour to the language. Grammar, let me repeat. The spelling of grammar is Grammar. Most of them, they write ER. It is Grammar. Grammar adds glamour to the language. That means glamour means beauty. It adds beauty to the English language. Glamour, Glamour. Fine. So, what are the important topics in English language that you need to focus? Tenses. Tenses, auxiliary verbs, articles. These and passive voice, active voice, direct speech and indirect speech. These are the most important topics in English grammar. Let me repeat. Tenses, auxiliary verbs, articles, active voice and passive voice, and last one is direct and indirect speech. We call it as reported speech. Direct and indirect speech, reported speech. So I have chosen this auxiliary verbs concept. What happens is grammar, usually you need to just focus and listen with concentration. When you listen to it, it helps you to speak English fluently. Most of them, they are struggling to speak. Why? Let me give the tips of improving English language. Then listening, there are 4 language skills. After that, I'll teach these auxiliary verbs so that all of a sudden, if I go into the grammar and start teaching, you may not be able to focus for a longer time. I do understand grammar topics. For me, it's interesting. There is so much to learn. But most of them, grammar, it goes over the head. That means nothing goes into the brain, it goes over the head. Fine. So there are 4 language skills. They are LSRW skills. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Now, the first one, listening. Is there any difference between listening and hearing, or is it one and the same? Is the basic question. Can we get the answers? Who would like to answer this question? Difference between hearing and listening.
Ma'am.
Who is
Hello?
this?
I'm Raghu.
Raghu. Others, please mute yourself. Raghu, there is a lot of disturbance.
Now it's audible, ma'am?
It's
Now it's clear?
audible, but there is a lot of disturbance. Move from the place.
Yeah, yes.
Distance yourself.
Is it clear now?
Fine, that's okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Now is it clear, ma'am?
Now, yes, fine.
Yeah, hearing is simply you listen, you hear something and you listen, you listen to it and you will throw it from your ears. It will go away from your mind. Listening is concentrating on issue,
Okay.
sending it into mind.
Okay. Good. Any other answers? Mute yourself, Raghu. Other students, try to answer the difference between hearing and listening. Who would like to give the answer for this question? Strange. Only one student. Others? Try to think and give the answer for the question. What is the difference between hearing and listening? Or is it one and the same as the question asked?
Hello,
Yeah.
am I audible, madam?
You're audible, but there is some slight disturbance. That's okay.
Okay, now,
And then now it's fine.
yeah, listening what we concentrate on the thing that happens or that we concentrate on. Means, for example, now the class is going on, we listen, we remember that we concentrate that which enters into mind, we try to keep it in our memory. For that, we use listening. And hearing, many sounds that we hear, but we don't concentrate.
Oh,
That's
nice.
what.
Good. Any other students? Anyone? Fine. So the difference between hearing and listening is for concentration. We listen to give the answers, to respond. Unless you listen, you cannot respond or answer to the questions asked. Listening is with concentration. When you listen, you can answer to the question. Focus is maintained and you keep in mind whatever you listen. So listening is nothing but it's an attempt to understand something, to respond to the speaker and try to keep in your mind. Whereas hearing, on the other hand, as your friend has rightly said, for example, going on and in the background some noise is going on simultaneously, parallelly there is some noise, birds chirping, dogs barking, children playing, so someone is blending is using the grinder. Those sounds, you feel that the class is interesting, that is your priority, that is your need and necessity to learn something. So you're not paying attention to the background noise. Your focus is the class, on the class itself. So hearing doesn't require any concentration. When you hear, you will not respond, you cannot respond. For some just random example I use for hearing, in the classroom what happens? Body present, mind absent. For namesake, the person is there, but not making any effort to understand. That is hearing. So to develop fluency over English language, we call it as fluency. I'm going to tell the synonyms. Synonyms means, what do you mean by synonym? So many words, but the same meaning. A word which has same meaning, but we use different words is known as synonym. synonym, synonym. For example, beautiful. I can use several synonyms for that. Almost every word gives the same meaning, beautiful, pretty, gorgeous, wonderful, amazing, extraordinary, fabulous, fantastic, mind-blowing. Yes, and beautiful, pretty, superb. Superb, most of them they use superb. Rocking is good, energetic. And there are so many words that we use. Dainty, D-A-I-N-T-Y. Dainty means something which is small, pretty, beautiful. We use dainty. And There are a couple of words that we use for all these words. All these words give the same meaning, beautiful. So to enrich vocabulary, to improve your vocabulary, we have to make use of different synonyms. So to improve your fluency, I was speaking about someone in the background. Please mute yourself. Your audio recording is telling something to you. Yes. So to improve fluency or proficiency, competency, these three are synonyms for fluency. Fluency, proficiency, competency. You have to listen to English news channels every day. Listen to English news, or listen to the audios. And very keenly, I'm also sharing the stories. Listen to them very keenly. Keen means with interest, with attention, rapt attention. Then you can learn English language. So this listening will help in speaking. How? Let me give example. How you all have learned your mother tongue? Just to go back to your childhood days, recollect. Nostalgic. People use this word. I'm feeling nostalgic. What is it by nostalgia? Nostalgic. That means I'm going back to my olden days. Olden days is known as nostalgia. Nostalgia. I go back to my childhood days and just recollect. I don't remember exactly. I have only faint memory. Faint means not clear. F-A-I-N-T. Faint memory means not clear memory. There is some noise. Background. Mute. All of you mute yourself. Yes. So I'm just trying to recollect what I have done, how I have learned the English language, or I tried in my schooling. And before that, how I have learned my mother tongue. Any language, it could be Telugu, Hindi, Urdu, Marathi, Kannada, Malayalam, Gujarati, Punjabi, any language it could be. How people learn their language, their own mother tongue, in fact. There is a relevance to the English language. That is why I'm giving this real life example. We can see, we can observe, we can just concentrate, we can understand how children learn the language. Our mother tongue, how children learn. For example, if there are children at your home or at your neighborhood, how do they learn? They listen to us very keenly, unlike adults. Some of the adults, they don't listen, they have poor listening skills. Children, they are very good at listening. They listen and they try to imitate what we are speaking. They repeat. They try to repeat. And they commit mistakes, obviously, and we correct them. Especially in terms of gender, they commit mistake. And especially in terms of tenses. Was, is, am. I mean, in Telugu, Hindi, and all such languages, they commit grammatical mistakes, correct them. That's how even we have learned our language. They have corrected us. Some people have corrected, our parents have corrected, our siblings corrected, or our relatives corrected. Through mistakes only we have learned our language. In the same way, English language can also be learned. How? You need to speak every day in English. That is very, very important. All over the world, this language has become a global language. For example, you're going to attend an interview, you start speaking in your own mother tongue. Interviewer will not understand your language, and you cannot understand interviewer's language. The only common language is English. And everywhere it is useful. For example, some say, I don't want to go and work under someone. I want to start up my own business. Yes, for business also English is needed. For example, you want to do exports and imports business dealing with the other countries, then which language is the only way to bridge the gap? English language is the only way to bridge the gap. So it is much needed. Listening will help in speaking. how we have learnt our mother tongue. We have listened very carefully, whether it could be Telugu, Hindi, Punjabi, Marathi, any language. We have listened, we have tried to speaking, someone has corrected, that's how, and we have so many years of experience in our mother tongue. Now we don't commit mistake because we know how to speak. Same way, you can learn English language. Listening very, very carefully is important, much needed. After you listen, you should speak. Make a point to yourself or promise yourself that from today you are going to speak in English. For example, I don't have, some students say, I don't have anyone to speak in English. Talk to your friend, talk to your classmate, talk to your brother or sister. If they know English, talk to them. With parents or with adults, some of them, they know, I don't know English. Then speak in your own language. Those who know English, speak. So, and listening to the audio is very, very important. For example, your classmate is there. Ask your classmate to read the text for you. What is there? Listen to that and start speaking. Audios will really help. That is the only way. Attend seminars, workshops. Any learning will not go waste. Remember this point. Any learning, you are investing your time, you are investing your energy to learn something. That will be helpful throughout your life. Wherever you go. If not in the future, it will be useful. So make an attempt. Don't think that I don't have this, I don't have that, I cannot do. No. You can do, but you need to put an effort. So listening should be there and speaking should go parallelly, hand in hand. Every day that has to go. Then dictating it to the scribe, that is important. How you dictate the answers to the scribe. Never by heart the answers. Some of them, they call it as buttifying or by hearting. Cramming, we call it as cramming. C-R-A-M-M-I-N-G. Cramming is memorizing the answer same as it is. You will tend to forget. If you memorize the answers, you will forget line by line, word by. No. How you have to learn? Try to understand the concept. The basic, the very idea of the concept, try to understand. Once you understand, put it in your own words. Dictate in your own words to the scribe. Most of the evaluators for examination, they check the concept, whether the concept is well presented or not, and whether the words are in proper shape or not, the grammatical errors. That is important. And one more thing, very significant point, which I would like to make now is translating your mother tongue into English. Never do that. It's a mistake. It's a blunder. Never translate your mother tongue into English. Mother tongue structures are different. English language structures are different. Let me make this point very clear. Very, very clear. Please be open for learning. Try to learn. For example, in Telugu and Hindi, I'm going to give examples, and let me move on to switch over to English. In Telugu, Varsham Padutundi. In Hindi, one example that really helps you to learn in a better way. Barish Hora. Varsham Padutundi. Barish Hora. In English, if I translate, rain is coming, it's a blunder. Never translate directly. In English, it is not rain is coming. It is, what is the sentence for that? It's raining. Heavily. It's raining. Cats and dogs. What is this, cats and dogs? It is not that dogs are falling from the sky. It's not that cats are falling from the sky. Heavy rainfall. For heavy rainfall, there is a proverb. If, for example, it's raining very heavily, there is a power cut. Current poyindi. Current chale gaya. In English, we cannot tell current gone. That is wrong. Absolutely wrong. Power cut. There is a power cut. Disruption of power. Disruption of power. Current vachindi poyindi. Current poyindi. Current chale gaya. Fir next. Current vachindi. Current aa gaya. In English, we cannot tell current came. From where it will come? Is it a human being to come? No. The power restored. R-E-S-T-O-R-E-D. Restored. Restored means coming back to the same position. The power resumed. Resume means coming back to the same thing. Resumed or restored. Like that, never translate into mother tongue cannot be translated into English. English has altogether different structures that you need to learn. For example, I have some wonderful examples to give. You called your friend this evening or tonight. You called, your friend is talking to someone. During the lockdown, your friend is so busy talking to another friend. You have been trying to reach your friend but unable to reach. That person is so busy. In Telugu and Hindi, how do you say? Both engage ara. Chaala engage vastundi phone. In English, we cannot tell engage, it's engaged or engage coming. People use this only in India. They are known as Indianisms. They are known as Indianisms. In India, only those sentences are familiar. And only Indians can understand because those very statements or sentences have developed in our language. But whereas we should learn British English or American English, which is the standard language, all over the world, people should understand. So in that situation, you need to tell that the line is busy. Engage ostundi, engage ara, when you called someone. In English, I cannot tell engage coming wrong, absolutely wrong. I need to tell the line is busy. The person is talking to someone over phone. The line is very busy. I'll try to reach him after some time. So that's how the language difference should be. Never translate. This is also every day you need to speak. I hope I'm clear and my tips will be useful, and most of them they feel shy. I'm from Telugu medium background. I cannot speak in English. Without trying, how can you judge yourself and make a statement that I cannot do? Try and never feel shy. This is very much important point that you keep in your mind. Most of them they feel shy, and without trying itself they step back. Without trying itself. For example, if I want to speak in English, I cannot speak and my friend laughs at me. My brother laughs at me. My relative and neighbor laughs at me because I cannot speak. See, very simple point here. When someone is laughing, that person is a loser, not you. Unless you do wrong thing, you should not be fear of anything. Don't be fearless. When it is coming to education, when you want to develop yourself, and never be scared to do anything. Scared, very fearful. I cannot do. I don't want to do. No, keep trying, keep experimenting with language. Then you will develop. So that is all about English. I don't feel shy. I never feel shy because I want to learn. I want to improve. See, my neighbor is laughing at me. I don't bother. It is not my business to bother whether she's laughing at me or not. I want to improve. That should be the attitude. Think that I want to improve, whether people laugh or not. And criticism. What is criticism? People make fun, they pass comments. Just be deaf to them. That's it. Don't take into consideration. That is what you have to keep trying. So English language, don't feel shy. For example, you have to behave in such a way that you should behave as if you don't know any other language except English. I do the same. When someone is speaking in Telugu, my mother tongue is Telugu basically. When someone is speaking in Telugu, I never speak in Telugu, I just reply back in English. Even that person tries to speak in Telugu, I behave as if I don't know. That's how we can learn. That person, my colleagues also at college, my colleagues from other department, they come and they talk to me in Telugu. I never switch over. I just keep on trying. They'll also speak English. That should be the spirit of learning. Keep learning always. So about these auxiliary verbs, I've given all the tips for improving English language, listening to the audios, listening to news, listening to songs, English songs also, it really helps. Yes, and also listening to, when you watch movie, you can listen to the subtitles. Yes, that also really helps. And now I'm speaking, listen to me, that will help you. Speak every day. Every day you need to make an attempt. Who is that? Who is that? Hello? Fine. Now let us move on to this auxiliary verbs. Basic concept: be forms, have forms, do forms. Primary auxiliary verbs. Verb is an action. Auxiliary verb is nothing but helping verb. It is divided into two types: primary auxiliary, modal auxiliary. Primary auxiliary verbs, there are three types: be forms, have forms, do forms. In be forms, I have explained present tense. In present tense, how we can use am, is, are. In the past tense, we need to use was or were. For example, I was going, he was going, she was going, it was going. You were going, we were going. In the past tense, we need to speak in such a way that I was, he was, she was, it was. And for you and we, plural tense, you were, we were. And here, were is W-E-R-E, were, not W-H-E-R-E. W-H-E-R is a question, where? Where are you going? W-H-E-R is a question. Where means at which place? It is were. W-E-R-E, were. You were going somewhere. I have seen you yesterday. I saw you that you were going to a movie. So I was, you was, I was, he was, she was, it was, you were, we were. That is in the past tense. And in the future, for future we use will. I will come, he will come, she will come. That is be forms. Now, have forms. I have, you have, we have, they have.
ఆ పీట ఇరిగిన పీట ఎందుకు గుచ్చుకుంటుందా నేను అన్నందుకు
Hello. Mute yourself.
ये डिस्टर्ब है अरे
ఎందుకు నీకేమైతుంది
There is a background noise, someone talking about knife. Yes, in the have forms, in the present tense, we use have and has. I have a pen. You have a pen. We have pens. They have 5 pens. But here, the major mistake is committed here. Most of them, they say he have, she have. Wrong. He has and she has. I have, for example, I own a something. I own a house. This house is mine. I have a house. I have, you have, we have, they have. To own a something. Possession. Possession, we call it as ownership. Owning something. Or siblings. How many brothers do you have? They are my own. So I say I have 2 brothers. How many brothers he has? He has means he has 3 brothers. I cannot tell he have 3 brothers. Wrong. I have, you have, we have, they have. He has, she has. Now in the past tense, for everyone we use had, HAD, had. No confusion for have forms past tense. I had breakfast just now. I had breakfast just now. She had her breakfast just now. I had, you had, we had, they had. For everyone it is had. Had is same in the past tense, have form of auxiliary verbs. In the present tense, have and has. In the future, will have, shall have. For everyone, I will have, we will have, she will have, they will have. So will have is same. In future, we have to add will. Now, do forms. Do and does. I do my homework every day. We do our homework every day. They do their homework. He does his homework. She does. DOS does. We cannot tell he do homework, she do homework. Wrong. He does. She does. He does. She does. He does his homework. She does her homework. His. He does his homework. His for boy, for male we use he and his. She and her. He does his homework. She does her homework. అంటే ఏంటి తను అబ్బాయి తన హోంవర్క్ చేసుకుంటున్నాడు, అమ్మాయి తన హోంవర్క్ చేసుకుంటుంది. Same like that we have to explain. And in the past tense, for example, for do forms, did, for everyone did. How can we use this? I did my project work. She did her project work. He did his project work. They did their project work. You did your project work. Like that we use did is same for everyone. Did in the past tense. Do and does in the present tense. I do, you do, we do, they do, he does, he does. I do my homework. We do our homework. They do their homework. He does his homework. She does her homework every day. Now in the past tense with the same homework only. I did my homework. Yesterday I did my homework. He did his homework yesterday. She did her homework 3 days ago. Like that. And in the future tense, will do, I will do, will have for same everyone. And do forms, will do, shall do, I will do, we will do, they will do, he will do, he will do his homework tomorrow. She will do her homework day after tomorrow. She's sick now. She's sick. What is sick? She's not feeling well. She's unwell. UNWELL. Well means I'm fine. I'm healthy. Hale and healthy. H-L-E. Hale and healthy means I'm perfectly all right. Fit and fine. For the one who is sick, S-I-C-K, sick, we use it as unwell. She's unwell. That means she's sick, ill. So like that we use the words. So auxiliary verbs are very, very important. So I was going, I am studying. Most of them, when I took the introduction, they did not use am. They said, I doing BA. What is this? I doing BA. I am doing BA. I am pursuing my BA. BA second year in Princeton Degree College. For example, I'm just giving this example. I'm doing my master's in Badruka Degree and PG College. The tone modulation, the way you're, I doing, most of them I doing. What is this I doing? I am doing. I'm studying. I studying. Some of them they say I study. I study. What is this? I study. I am studying. I'm doing. Or if it is over, I did my master's. Now, for example, now I'm not studying. I'm not doing any course presently. I did my master's. I did my master's in 2015 from Sanso College. Like that, we need to mention. My hobbies are. If it is one hobby, my hobby is dancing. For example, if it is more than one, I cannot tell my hobbies is and telling one. No, my hobbies are playing games, outdoor games, singing, dancing. Yes, learning language, learning new words, meeting new people, exploring, doing adventure, trekking. Like that, it must be different. Some of them, they mention reading books is my hobby. Then the next question will be, what sort of books do you read? Then they cannot tell. That means it is not their hobby. What type of books do you read? Then you can go on. If it is your hobby, you can tell. Yes, so auxiliary verbs are very, very important. He do and he does. Do is wrong. He do is wrong. He does. She does. I have, you have. I have a pen with me. Do you have a pen with you? Yes. Does she have a pen? I cannot tell. Do she have a pen? Wrong. Does she have? She does have a pen. Now the question becomes, does she have a pen? Reverse. The auxiliary verbs can be, for example, you are going to watch a movie. This is a statement. Now the same statement just with the reverse of 2 words, it becomes a question. Are you going to watch a movie? You are going to watch a movie is a sentence. You are going to watch a movie. It's my order, is my statement. I'm just reversing the first 2. Are you going to watch a movie? Are you? Reverse it like that. He is going or he is dancing. He is dancing. Is he dancing? Reverse it. Just reverse first 2 words. He is dancing is a statement. My friend came home and she started talking to me. What are you doing? I called you, but the line was busy and you seems to be so busy. Then I say that my brother is dancing now, so I was busy looking at him. Then she asked a question. Is your brother dancing now? Is your brother? The same question with reversal. Reverse the first 2 words, it becomes a question. I did my homework. Did I do my homework? Did I do my homework? You did your homework. Did you do your homework? Like that, reverse, we can make the questions. The same auxiliary verbs with the reversal, you can have a questions. I will play in the garden tomorrow. Will you play in the garden tomorrow? With the tone and reversal of the words, we can frame a question, asking questions. Yes, I'll stop here. If you have any doubts, any clarifications, queries means doubts. Start asking, then we can close the meeting at 6:15. Hello, one by one. Is everyone there? My question. Everyone is there is a statement.
Yeah.
I'm asking. Is everyone there?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. We are there.
Oh, fine. We are
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
Is a statement.
Ma'am, I have doubt.
Sure. Go ahead with your doubt.
Yeah. Have you did your homework? Can I ask in such a way?
Done. We cannot use
Have form. Have form. Have
That's
you
what. Have plus V3. For example, let me tell
Have
this. Let me tell you. Do, did, done, doing. Verb forms of four things. First, do in the present tense. Did in the past tense. Done in the future. Perfect. In the perfect tense, we use done. Doing is V4, continuous tense. So, have you did is wrong. Always there is a thumb rule. There is a rule in English. Have plus V3. Have plus V3 we have to use everywhere. For example, did you eat your lunch? That is correct. Have you eaten your lunch? That is correct. So for this question, what you have asked, have you did your homework is wrong. We need to use have you done your homework? Done. V3 we have to use do, did, done, doing. V1 is do. Did is V2. V3, verb 3. In the perfect tense, we use done. V4, doing. So for have, we have to always use V3. Have you done your homework is correct sentence. Got clarified?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes. I got.
Okay. And always after did, we have to use V1. Did. For example, did you do your homework? Did she come? Did she come to college yesterday? I cannot use did she came. Came is wrong because did is only past tense. Again, we cannot use past tense. We cannot use V2. We have to use V1. Did we play? Play, played, played, playing. So did we play? First V1 form we have to use, not the past tense after did. That is the important thing. Did plus V1, have plus V3. This is a combination. Another question? Please ask your questions.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, you said that, you made a statement that, just you made a sentence that, did you do your homework? Is that correct?
Yes. Did you do your homework? Yes. Did plus V1. Do is V1, right? Do, did, done, doing.
Okay.
Did you do your homework? Have you done your homework? Correct.
What is the difference between both do and done there?
Okay. Such a wonderful doubt it is. I need to. Did is with did we use for time frame, time bound. Have is used for without time. For example, did you do your homework yesterday? I'm mentioning yesterday. There we can use did. Now here, have you done your homework? Just a random question. I'm not using any time frame here. So for time frame, did. Without time frame, we use have. For example, I went to London 3 years ago. Here I'm specifying 3 years ago. I went. V2 I'm using. For example, I have gone to London. When I have gone, I did not tell the time. When I did not tell the time, it is have. When I tell the time, it is did. With the time frame. Is it clear?
Ma'am, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have done few days ago. We can use in this way.
Yes, with did.
I have gone.
Have gone, don't use 2 days ago.
2 days. I have seen few FEW.
What?
Few days ago, not
A few days ago. Fine. Few days ago. Fine. You can use, not a problem. With exact time frame, have gone cannot be used with exact time frame. Any other doubts? Then we can close the meeting. Start speaking in English. Everyone must speak in English. Every day you have to speak.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, we will do.
Sure, we'll do. Wonderful. We'll do. We'll do means in the future. Do forms. Will do. We will do. Anyone else would like to ask any doubts, any clarifications, any feedback? Then after 5 minutes, we can close the meeting. Yes. Anyone? Is anyone who would like to speak? We are most welcome.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Mahesh. Hello?
Loudly. Speak loudly, Mahesh.
Yeah. Have you had dinner? I can say, or I have done dinner.
Question. Do you want to ask question?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you done your dinner? Or did you eat your dinner? Yes, have you done your dinner?
Have you eaten dinner?
Have you eaten dinner? We can also ask that, but most for eating we use have. Did you have your dinner? Like that for dinner, for eating we can use have. For eating we can use have.
Okay.
Did you eat? The simple question is, did you eat? Did you eat?
Okay.
This would be the appropriate question. Did you eat something? Did you eat your dinner? Or did you have your dinner? Is also here in this for eating we can use have. Did you have your breakfast? Have you had your breakfast?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I did. Yes, I have done my breakfast. No, I did not. No, I haven't. No means yes, I did. No, I did not. Yes, I had. No, I hadn't. Like that. Have something. For food, we use have. Have means eat. For food, we can use food. The pronunciation is not food. It is food. Ooh sound. Can we close the session?
Yeah, Nazma.
Yeah,
End the session, please.
shall I end the session? Okay, fine.
You end the session. We will catch at 6:40. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Chalo. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
వీడియో నచ్చితే లైక్ చేయండి, అందరికీ షేర్ చేయండి. మీకు ఎటువంటి వీడియోస్ కావాలో కామెంట్ సెక్షన్లో పోస్ట్ చేయండి. ఫ్రెండ్స్, లేటెస్ట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ముందుగానే మీరు పొందాలంటే మా ఛానల్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకొని పక్కన బెల్ ఐకాన్ క్లిక్ చేయండి.